Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode of Friday Night Pioneer, we're going to pioneer some Simic Lotus. Now, although this deck is technically Sultai, as you can see from a few of the black mana pips that we have in the deck, this deck is Simic because we only have blue and green base color lands in the deck, and we're hoping to get black out of the Lotus Field. So that's the whole idea of the deck. And, well, it is a Lotus Field deck, so the whole point is to play Emergent Ultimatum to ultimate our opponent. So the idea of Emergent Ultimatum is we're gonna search our library for 3 cards. Our opponent chooses 1 to put back, and then we get to cast the other 2 cards for free. So what are the cards that we're gonna pick? Generally speaking, we're gonna take Leer, Behold the Beyond, and Omniscience. Those are the 3 cards that we want to take so that our opponent chooses 1 to put back, and we get to play the other 2 for free. So if our opponent, rightfully so, probably will see Omniscience and puts that back, we're going to play Leer, and then we're going to play Behold the Beyond. And Behold the Beyond allows us to search our library for 3 cards and put them into our hand. So we can search for 3 very good cards like, 3 Pore Over the Pages or 3 Hidden Strings that allow us to untap enough mana to cast our Omniscience anyways. By searching for it with Behold the Beyond, we can take, not 3 Hidden Strings, 2 Hidden Strings and Omniscience, or something like that. And then we get Leer, which will help us cast all the cards back from our graveyard. Obviously, Omniscience does not allow us to cast for free, but that's fine, right? Things like Hidden Strings and what's the other one? Pore Over the Pages will just untap our Lotus Fields as we play them. So this deck is totally fine. And then we can even Bala Recovery to return cards from back from the graveyard to get an extra cast if we need to. But how do we win? Well, we have 1 card in this deck to help us win, and that's Mastermind Acquisition. So the idea of this deck is we're going to look for a card from outside the game, and the card we're going to look for is just right here. Approach of the Second Sun. And that's it, right? We look for Approach, we cast Approach, and then we draw cards with Pore until we redraw the Approach, and then we cast it again, and then we win. That's how this deck wins. It doesn't look very sort of intrinsic or strategic, but it is very easy to pull off, assuming that we can cast the Ultimatum combo. Ultimatum does cost a lot though, so how do we get there? Well, with Lotus Field, all that we need to do is just keep untapping it while drawing cards. So we got a few ways to help us do that. Hidden Strings obviously untaps 2 permanents, and then we're going to untap, maybe a Lotus Field, maybe 2 Lotus Fields. And then that's it. That's all it does, right? We untap. This costs 2 mana, which means that if we tap 2 Lotus Fields for 6 mana, we use 2 to untap the Lotus Field. We can tap those Lotus Field again for 6 more. That's a total of 10 mana. So we can cast Emergent Ultimatum or even Omniscience that way. Another way we can do that is with Pore Over the Pages, which is draw 3 cards, untap up to 2 lands, and then we discard a card. So we're going to pay 5 with 2 Lotus Fields, so that's 6 mana, right? We can untap, we'll draw 3 cards, we can untap the Lotus Fields again, and we discard a card. So we actually net 2 cards and even net 1 mana. And that's pretty good with Pore Over the Pages, especially with Leer. That will help us search through our whole deck. And then we have things like Impulse to draw, an impulsive draw, if you will, to get us a good card in our deck, in the top 4 of our deck. And then we can Sylvan Scribe to fetch for the Lotus Field should we need to. And that's pretty much it for this deck, right? The idea of this deck is, I think, very straightforward, but it's very powerful. So let's talk about the whole deck list. Turn 1, obviously what we want to do is Arboreal Grazer to get another land into play. So turn 1, we want to hit 2 lands so that we can turn 2 Lotus Field. That is the best case scenario. That's why there's 4 Grazers in the deck. But we also have 2 into the Flood Maw to bounce the creature our opponent, or bounce a creature or anything else our opponent might control. But namely, this is to help us survive. So we got into the Flood Maw, just 2 off. And then turn 2, here are the cards that we actually want to play. Turn 2, we want to play Sylvan Scribe. We want to search for Lotus Field, play the Lotus Field, sack the 2 lands we have. 1 we play, 1 for Arboreal Grazer, and now we will have Lotus Field in play, which is very difficult to interact with for our opponent. However, if we just, naturally draw the Lotus Field, you can even hold up the 2 mana without Sylvan Scribe, so that with those 2 mana, we can play Hidden Strings to untap the Lotus Field if we need to, play Impulse to draw cards, or even to cycle the Vizier of Tumbling Sand. Generally speaking, we're not casting Vizier. We want to cycle the Vizier, and it's best done on the turn that Lotus Field come in. We tap those 2 lands that we are going to sacrifice, and then we get those 2 mana that we'll use to cycle the Vizier to untap the Lotus Field. All of a sudden, on turn 3, we got back, or technically turn 2 here, we got back our 3 mana that we can cast a 3 mana play. 3 mana play, we got 2 stock ups, which is very good to dig deep into the deck. We got 2 Bala Recovery, which is technically a land, but it can also be a return a card from our graveyard to our hand. So we can do that. And then, other than that, we don't really have that many other turn 3 plays. We want to hit as many Lotus Fields as we want. Another thing that we can do on turn 3 is to tap our Thespian Stage to copy the Lotus Field that we cheat out on turn 2. That's something that we can do. And then turn 4, 4 mana, we got Mastermind Acquisition, and then the rest of the deck kind of just unlocks from there. We have 4 Pore Over the Pages, just 1 Leer, 1 Behold the Beyond, 3 Emergent Ultimatum, and 1 Omniscience. The idea is that we want the Ultimatum them to win, but we don't have to. If we do get the Lotus Field just online, we get 2 Lotus Field online, and we get the Pore Over the Pages to continuously churn through the deck, we could just Mastermind Acquisition to get the... to get the approach and just win from there. Sometimes you might want to interact with your opponent a little bit more, so I put a lot of other cards in a deck that help us do that. If our opponent, well, we'll talk about the sideboard in a bit with the Mastermind Acquisition, but let's talk about the lands. For the lands, we're going to have, it might look like 23, but we actually have 25 lands because of the 2 Bala recovery. So we got 1 island in case we get, Demolition Field somehow. We have 1 Mistrise Village against counterspell decks, 2 Otawara and 2 Boseiju to have a channel activation or channel speed interaction against our opponent's spells, well, technically permanents, or yeah, both are permanents. And then we have 4 Botanical Sanctum, 3 Breeding Pool, 2 Hedge Maze, 4 Lotus Field, and 4 Thespian Stage. So the idea is Botanical Sanctum, we can play it fast, we can sacrifice it right away for the Lotus Field if we need to. Breeding Pool is a little bit slower, but there are forest islands, which can help make our Mistrise Village come to play untapped. Same thing can be said about Hedge Maze, but Hedge Maze also help us surveil, which doesn't help us dig deeper, but help us figure out whether or not we want the top card of our deck. Surveil is also very good if our opponent has, well, if we have a Leer in play, so that we can put the card in the graveyard. If it's a sorcery, we can insert sorcery, we can cast it from our graveyard with Leer's flashback ability. And then, of course, 4 Lotus Field, 4 Thespian Stage kind of speaks for themselves. Finally, the sideboards, right? So the win con is right here, the approach, but we got other things. If our opponent is mono red, and it doesn't look like they have a lot of damage left in our hand, maybe they have 2 or 3 cards left, we can always just get Herald of the Eternal Dawn. They can't answer this. It's a 6/6. They need 2 lightning strikes to just answer Herald. That means that we're not dying anytime soon. We can also get Thought Distortion if our opponent is playing control deck. This will discard all of their spells. So basically, if they're not have creatures for control deck, so they can't counter it. All of their spells get discarded, and they're gonna be left to our device. If our opponent is playing an even slower deck and you want to watch them suffer, we also have Witness the Future and Devious Cover-Up in the deck to continuously cycle through our graveyard. And the thing about this deck is when Witness the Future, we can shuffle Mastermind Acquisition back to play it again for Devious Cover-Up. And we have 1 Day of Judgment for a sort of emergency exit. We can cast Day of Judgment. And we have 1 Discontinuity, which is pretty good at ending the turn, basically countering everything on our opponent's turn. If we pay 6, and we can easily pay 6. It's kind of time stop effect. So it's a very long intro to the Simic Lotus. Let's go into the games. Alright, our opponent is the VOD event. Well, VOD event, we're going first. I mean, there is no card draw, but there are a lot of lands. So we're gonna graze into the battlefield tapped. Thespian Stage. Yeah, we don't want Thespian Stage right now. Then we're out. Oh boy. Grazer. Yeah, take 0. Untap or tap target permanent. Then you may untap or tap target permanent again. I'm completely useless with this hand right now. I mean, I did keep a pretty greedy hand, to be fair. They are Greasefang. Why did tap later then? We're out. Okay. Cutthroat. Go to my turn. We get a Pore. Didn't I discard a card? You can discard as Grazer. Okay. Yeah. I guess it's something. Do I play a Leer so I can pour? Probably later. I'm pretty sure it's some sort of Greasefang deck, but hey, it could just be some sort of sacrificial aristocrat deck. They do have a Zulfor Cutthroat. There's a voice. Let's play this in response. Do we Sylvan Scry? Is that even good right now? I guess it's something we can use, right? Hidden Strings. Stack those two. Again, Hidden Strings, untap this, I will get 4 mana. Untap these two. Well, untap these two, so I'll have 5 mana for Leer. Which is not really a lot. Again, Hidden Strings twice. Right, I could play Leer, but Leer's gonna die this turn if I do that. Hidden String. I'll have 5 mana. 5 mana, Hidden Strings again. I'll net not enough mana to save Leer. I think I'm gonna die. They have 5 mana and I have nothing to stop it. So what do I have in my sideboard? Discontinuity. Alright, we can chump. Guess we'll chump. Okay, down to 14. What do they have? Because if they're afraid of what we have, I got news for them. Another Wolf Strider. A bunch of sacrificial lambs. Funny. Alright, this is a cycle to untap. Cycle to untap this Lotus Field. I kind of want to Leer. Probably have to Hidden Strain first, right? I'd agree. Whenever this creature deals combat damage, I'm not dealing combat damage, so 5. I'll play the Leer. But he has to use my green. It's so annoying. Alright, now I'll use the green for Sylvan Scry. Get another Lotus Field. So we'll get a blue and a green. Play this Lotus Field. We'll sack 2 lands. So Hidden Strings again to untap these 2 permanents. I'm gonna decline. Oh yeah, wait, no. Untap, yes. I'm gonna decline the Cipher. I don't want to exile because I want to untap again. So blue, 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 and we will pour. Draw 3 cards. Discard 2 cards. Oh, first untap 2 things, and then we'll discard. I already played a land this turn. I played a Lotus Field, so I'm gonna discard the Dasmian State, and then I will tap this for blue, 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 blue. Hidden String. Untap these 2. Yes. Yes. Choose a creature. This time I will exile it because it's getting flashbacked. And then I will impulse. Top 4 for a card. Let's get a Pore. Blue, blue, blue. Blue, blue, blue. Let's draw 3 cards. Ah, this is Solitaire. Untap, untap. And I'll discard a card. I can discard a Scry now. I have 4. 5, 6, 7. 9, 10. We'll Pore again. Untap, untap. Discard Botanical Sanctum. Blue, blue, blue. Blue, blue, blue again. Omniscience. Now all of our spells are free. We can Hidden String. Untap these 2. Yes, yes. And I will decline, so let's go in the graveyard. And then we will... I mean, I could search my sideboard for a card, right? Let's search the sideboard. Search, put a card outside. We'll get the approach. GG! Yeah! We couldn't get an ultimatum. We got a very slow start. Didn't matter. Once the solitaire starts, it never ends. Okay, our opponent is Ciccio Facchetti. We do get to go first. That's a start. Wish I had a Grazer, but you know, what can you do? Blue-white. Do we scry? Blue-white's gonna be a pretty counterspell heavy deck. I mean, definitely play that. I think the question is, what do I scry into? Probably the village. You think he's gonna counter this? There was no counter spell. I mean, I'm gonna lose my Thespian stage. Field of Ruin. Can't target my Lotus Field, but he can target a Mistrise Village. But if he targets a Mistrise Village, he just gives me a turn to do my stuff. Bad idea. But hey, our opponent's full of bad ideas. Blue, blue, blue. Hidden Strings. Blue, blue, blue. I have to do this, right? Take action, decline. And then now I have 2 more. I can play Leer. Leer doesn't really help bring lands out of the graveyard though. So I got blue, blue, blue. Can I get green, green, green? This is not black. Okay, not enough. I could play the Leer out and make him wipe the board. It's something, right? Hidden String. Untap, untap. Take action, put it on Leer. Oh! Now I want to play this out. Blue Eye Control. Afraid of 2 little lands. GG. Alright, our opponent is... That's not how you spell thunder. Thunderfesh. Cool. Hey, we go first. And we get a Grazer. Dude. That's... Now the game starts. Do we want to waste our hidden strings though? Because hidden string untaps 2 cards, right? 2 lands. I guess we still do it to stock up and get to a better position. It's pretty important. I mean, if I draw a untapped land, well, we're getting tossies. Alright, never mind. Guess it doesn't matter if we try the hidden string or not. That takes our stock up. We get hidden strings. If I tap to add a blue there, and 1 colorless, double toss sees us. I mean, okay. I can't play this game at all. Blue, blue, blue. Cycle. Green, green, green. We'll scribe. Let's get us a Thespian stage. We'll play the stage. Copy the Lotus Field. Do they have a 3rd Thoughtseize? Nothing? Alright, we'll get blue, blue, blue. Blue, blue, blue. He's got 1 blue mana. Alright, GG. Haha! Take that, you double Thoughtseize trash. Alright, our opponent is F3 Kefka. 2 Lotus Fields. Not giving his hand. Opponent goes first. No Grazers. Alright. I guess I'll have to keep it. No Grazers feels bad, but it is what it is. Is it another aggro deck? It sort of looks like it. Maze, Leer. I don't think I can throw away the Leer. It is the heart of the deck. But it's also not what I want to draw. It feels bad moment. Is it Artist Talent? Alright. Feels bad moment number 2, I guess. Can we fight a Phoenix deck? Or, no, never mind. We're not fighting anything. This is all they have? Huh. Alright, what do we want into our hand? A Sanctum? Does that do anything? Not really. I do already have a breeding pool to play next turn. Do I just want the ultimatum? I don't have any card draw, right? I do need card draw as well. So... I was hoping to draw a Grazer. You can only have it intertapped because it says intertapped. Now I could cycle the Vizier to draw a card. Is that worth anything? I don't think so. Otawara, Artist Talent. I need the Lotus Field like right now. Last game I drew 3 Lotus Fields. Couldn't play any of them. This game I'm not drawing any. That's normal. They do not come out and have... Dude, you throw away your Treasure Cruise? Why would you... What are you playing here? I don't think that second slide does anything other than just boost the Quarry Steel. I guess now he can attack over it. There's that. He is cycling a lot of cards. I guess, does he get the Phoenix? Is that 3? It was not 3. I'm just trying to block his trample anyways. No! Could not get there. I mean, what am I, hard casting this? Just have to get burned. Yeah, it's either all or none, huh? Fuck me, man. It's just, we've gone through how many cards? That's, okay, this is 11, this is plus 4, so we've gone through 15 cards, a quarter of the deck, right? You expect to get 1. Guess you can just Treasure Cruise it? Yeah, why not? Easily. Easily get all the cards you need. You can also toss his lands. Get 3 more cards. I mean, our opponent doesn't whiff, and we whiff, like all the cards. So, that's all there is to it. Brings back Treasure Cruise? Is he going to Treasure Cruise again? I mean, he can't Treasure Cruise again unless he exiles one of his cards, right? Alright, those monks are huge. We're going to take 7 this turn. Didn't want his Lightning Axe. Oh no, we're going to take 7 plus 6. So we're taking 13 this turn. Or nothing. Top deck, Lotus Field, or we... Okay, I've already drawn 3 ultimatums. 0 Lotus Field. I die next turn. I mean, I'm getting... our opponent is Vashai? Vashishai? I don't know what it is. We go first. We got 2 Sylvan Scrying. Do they have Balaga Recovery for... Yeah, you know what? I'll keep it. Oh boy. We're not gonna have as much time as I think. Lair the Hydra and land we're out. Arboreal Grazer. I don't need 2 blue this turn, so I think we scrap. Polychronos? Alright. That's not a lot of damage yet. Green, blue. Play the Lotus. Stack these 2. I could Hidden String right now to untap just 1 Lotus Field, right? Or I could just waste the blue. Shouldn't have wasted blue. Honestly, I don't think it matters. That one's not trample. Should not have wasted the blue. Blue, blue, blue. Blue. Untap 2 permanents. Take action, take action. Green, green, green. We'll scribe with Thespian Stage. We'll play the Thespian Stage. Use 2 mana to copy the Lotus Field. And then we can hidden string, untap, untap. Take action, take action. Then we can pour, which nets 1 mana. Untap 2 lands. Discard Breeding Pool. Alright. This time we'll tap for... I think we still tap for blue here. Use the Vizier. Draw a card. Untap the Lotus Field. Tap for green, green, green. Tap for black, black, black. And we will... I mean... I think I just ultimatum here. Alright, that's the Omniscience, the Pore, and... Is Behold the Beyond? Yeah, Behold the Beyond lets us search our library for 3 cards put in our hand, right? You let me choose the cards. You put one of those cards back, probably Omniscience. Oh. We'll play the Omniscience first. And we'll pour. You know, untap 2 lands. I don't think it matters. We'll discard a card. Alright, we can Bala Recovery for... wait, does it exile itself? Oh, it exiles itself. Okay. So we got a Bala Recovery for Pore. It's kind of sad. Might as well. Dude, talk about a whiff, man. We'll Sylvan Scry. I don't think there's a land that I want to scry into here, though. Maze. Can't really play the maze. I mean, I can cheat out the maze, I guess. Impulse. Any way for me to draw a card? No. What a whiff, man! This deck! Oh man, even when I had the best. I got an Autowara. Outcaster Trailblazer, that's fine, doesn't do much. We're gonna need to Autowara something here. I also need to get a Leer. I should have gotten Leer, actually. I don't know why I took the Pore over Leer. That was a mistake. Bounce your oddity. Alright, we impulse for Mastermind. There you go. This doesn't exile itself. So, search our library for a card. Why did I pay mana? I don't know why I paid mana. Where is Leer? There he is. Alright, so let's see. We gotta tap this for blue, blue, blue. It might look like we need mana, but it's fine, we got plenty of mana. Put it on Mir. Then we will tap this for black, black, black. We'll go to Mastermind Acquisition. Outside the game, please. Alright, we get our approach. Where's approach? Then we will play our next hidden string, blue, blue, blue. Hidden string, untap, untap. Take action, put it on Mir again. Why not? Let's go to Pore. Untap, untap. And discard or into the Flood Mall. And we'll play Pore again. Untap, untap. And we'll discard the Breeding Pool. Is it a stick? Or did we bug out the client? I don't know. Well, let me draw one card. Here's Impulse. Cast it alternative cost. And we win! GG! We approach our win. Yay! Alright, our opponent is Garcete. He is Garcete. We go first with Arboreal Grazer and no card draws. Alright. Let's hope I get a card draw somewhere. We are a Grazer. Huh. He's got one black mana, he's holding up for something. One mana off. I mean, I guess I couldn't have untapped it anyways. No attack, that's fine. I don't need to take 0. I just need to draw one card draw ability. Gifted Aetherborn. Sylvan Scry. Do we scry here for a land? There's no card draw land in this deck, unfortunately. I think that might be the biggest problem, right? So I don't think we scry here. I think I just copy the Lotus Field. We got some chump blockers. Unholy Annex. That's bad. Do I even chump? I can take the 2. I might have to chump block something bigger. Leer. Alright, nothing in the graveyard for me to leer on. It's really annoying. I get a Flood Maul. That's also not very useful. Hedge Maze kind of looks one card deeper. I guess we get that. Yep. The classic problem of either getting your lands or your spells, but not both. But on steroids. You know, I'm gonna start blocking. He's getting to a risky point, right? Liliana. Liliana's pretty
This
bad.
is my home, and I don't appreciate it when people touch my things.
I gotta discard into the front wall against
overthink
Liliana.
things.
Please don't draw another land. Oh my god. Alright, what can I even do here? I guess I could discard Hidden Strings. I definitely need the Leer for stuff. If he makes me discard 2 cards, I'm just dead. I can also just play Leer, but he could... Yeah, I don't think a mono black deck is not going to be able to kill my stuff. Jesus. The amount of duress he's going to do to my hand is wild. I mean, I don't need to do this as a sorcery. Alright, we're out. I need to draw Ultimatum right now to not die. You got it.
I'm tired of your secrets.
This is one of those games, right, where you draw all the wrong cards. Oh my god. Why not? Let's just do it. We can probably have one more turn before Liliana kills us. Only the lands, right? Only the lands here.
We all have things we'd
He
rather
doesn't need the rest.
forget.
Ritual Chamber. Watch me draw another land. Oh! I was wrong. I was wrong to ever doubt it. Alright. This time I cannot get Leers though, so... search for a library for a card. It's only library. Sideboard? What can I get off the sideboard? Not enough card draw off the sideboard, right? So I think I have to get Pore and hope that I don't whiff. Yeah, I gotta get Pore and hope I don't whiff. Should've put a Zombify in this deck or something. Or put 2 Leers. Nah. The idea is not to miss on Leer, right? But we did, so it is what it is. Ain't not much we can do about that. I don't think they will worry about giving us the omniscience. Oh, wow, okay. So I want to put the Pore on the bottom and select a card to cast. And then I have to put Beyond on top because I want to Beyond first. Search for a library for 3 cards. Let's get the Ultimatum, the Mastermind, and then we'll get a Stock Up. I don't even think I need the Ultimate. I got 2 Ultimatums. Untap 2 lands, and I'll discard the Boseiju. First, let's... No. Green, green, green. Blue, blue, blue. Black, black, black. And we'll play the Ultimatum. So... Okay, GG. Yeah, we can get Omniscience, another Pore, and a Hidden String so that we can untap our lands. Without the Leer, we can still get there. Stupid Liliana. Face the wrath of 4 Lotus Fields. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those Simic Lotus-y games, How does this deck feel? I gotta say, I did make a mistake in one of the games where I had Ultimatum and I looked for Pore instead of Leer. That was a very, I would say costly mistake, but we did win that game. That was just a very dumb mistake that I make because I played this game too long, those games too long. And this is definitely one of those decks where you can't make that kind of mistakes, right? Unfortunately, though, I did have to cut out a few games because I lost a lot of those because I did not get Arboreal Grazer. Our opponents going first, and they were too aggressive for me. So they won by turn 3. Stupid mouse decks and all that. That's gonna happen, and this is something that this deck cannot fight against unless we sideboard, and we're not playing best of 3, so our sideboard is really just a wish list, right? So in terms of this deck is obviously, I'm still going to say it's very strong. It's very fun to play if you like this kind of solitary style of games, but it is not easy to play. There's a lot of thought process going into when do you play the Lotus Field, when do you Silver Scry, how much mana do you have, and there's a lot of math you got to do in your head to make sure that things work out. And one of the biggest thing that oftentimes does not work out, and believe it or not, this is very frustrating. A lot of times it doesn't work out because I got the Lotus Field combo down, but I don't have any card draw, so I just get stuck. I have no card draw, I sit there, and I kind of cry a little. So I had to wait. You saw in the last game, I had to wait until I get one card draw. And one card draw unlocks every other card draw, and this deck just wins from there. But you need to get that first one, and that is a little bit painful. The biggest thing that I noticed is Sylvan Scrying can get a land. Sometimes when I draw cards, when I have the top deck, and my top deck is a Sylvan Scrying, I feel bad because none of the lands in this deck actually draws anything. Right? So that is something to consider. I do think, Bala Recovery is a very good land to scry out, which you can then return a card from your graveyard. I did not put that into my thought process because I don't know if that works. Because this is on the backside. I don't know if you can Silver and Scry the backside of a card. I don't remember if Arena allows us to do that. But we definitely need a land here in the main board that has, excuse me, that has some sort of a mana sink into it. So I think one of the things that we needed to have is the castle lands. Okay. Takes a while to get there. Castle Vantress is probably the best card here because it does cost 5 mana for us to scry 2, but this deck has a lot of mana when the Lotus Field is live, and scrying 2 might be just what we need to get to the scenario that we get for the win con. So maybe we cut an Otawara for a Castle Vantress. I'm not sure yet. This deck is still something that I'm trying to figure out for the best of 1 meta because everyone figured out best of 3. But for best of 1, it's a little bit trickier because it's very aggressive and we don't want to just put a lot of anti-aggro, then we don't really face control, right? So it's a fine dance that we have to figure out. And that's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.